Hello, welcome once again to another episode of Chatbox on Signature TV.
The most spoken about. I hope I'm using my English or my language. That is just where you can get everything where you want to get.
Uche,
Whether
please.
you like it or yes.
Queen, please. Anyway, as you all know, I'm your lovely host, Uchenna, and
Of course, it's me, your baby girl, Queen.
welcome, sir. Let me help you and introduce yourself.
So yes, in the last episode we still spoke about parenting, upbringing, advice, and
but we focus more on like career and
so right now we'll be talking about marriage. Very important.
And today we have another interesting guest here with us to
it's very demure and gentle. But when the conversation starts, we get to know him more. So over to yourself, please introduce yourself to us.
Thank you, it's my pleasure. I am Reverend Uche Carlo.
You're welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
You're a man of God in our midst.
And we are talking marriage.
Praise the Lord, somebody.
Amen.
All right, so we had a conversation with a guest in the other episode. We spoke about career, parents, advice, parents indicting, parents imposing, their whole take and
their opinions
and all.
Yeah.
So now I want to talk about marriage because marriage is a very sensitive. No, let me sound like a counselor. Marriage is a school.
Yeah.
It's a class. Like
yes, it's a journey.
It's a journey, yes.
Yeah. So
I want to have a conversation with you concerning it because there's this mindset about this generation having cases of divorce.
Yes.
It's as if they don't take the advice parents give them in marriages, and we don't know why. Of course,
both before they get married and when they are married and everything. So we want to know what you think about that before we.
Thank you. Just as you rightly said, marriage is a school. Not just a school, it's just purely a learning center. And no one has ever graduated from it. And marriage, be that as it may, you cannot say exactly what the experience will result to until you get into it. And to me, marriage is more or less a spiritual thing, because you may wish well for yourself, but in the middle of it, you discover that it wasn't what you think or what you thought of that you will now see on board. And to some, it's not working out well for them. To some, it's working out well for them. So, and the Igbo adage says marriage is like a wrap. It's whatever you pick and open it that you begin to see and enjoy.
Yeah.
So that is it.
What's your own problem?
Because what you mean by it's a wrap is what I pick. So it's more like, so I don't have my mind, like, I don't know what I'm trying to mix words right now. You said something about there are people that go into, you have the whole good impression of it, and
then when you go in, you see something
else. So it's more like, oh, I saw something glaring to me. It's very beautiful, and I picked it. And at the end of the day, it opens.
It's giving you. You did not do your assignments well.
Yes.
You did not study well. That's why
Even when you studied, the fact that you studied does not guarantee you successful in marriage, because issues and circumstances may come up. Things may change. And whether you like it or not, economy may even come to slap you.
Exactly, that's true.
And the destiny may not be friendly to you.
Yes.
You may have children. I have the experience of a family that had, do I call it an imbecile? And the woman had to leave the husband with that child. So there are all different kinds of experience in marriage, which you never thought of its existence. And when you see, you may be thrown off balance.
So I use something.
Okay, no, I just wanted to bring us back to now we've talked about like marriage
and
And no, let's leave. Please, Joe, please.
I think that's what the advice.
Let's just leave Gen Z.
Okay.
Kindly.
Modern marriage.
Thank you. Now, what I want, I just want to know. So, what do you think about parents? Kind of giving an opinion as to who their children should marry, or the kind of people they want their children to be with or end up like. What's that about?
Well, I have gotten the privilege of counseling some young youths when it gets to the time of marriage. No parent will dream of the child failing in marriage. No parent. And be that as it may, every parent will always advise the child on the way to take so that that person will succeed. But this love of a thing, when it gets into the brain, it can thwart the understanding of someone, and then you'll be bent down on I love her, I love her, I love him. If I don't marry him, if I don't marry her, I will die. The truth of the matter is that if you are left on your choice, you can go ahead, marry the person, and still die and be alive while you are already dead. Do you understand?
You said marriage thing is not the bed of roses, and of course they said you should marry who you know.
When in my understanding, a bed of roses is just to tell you that nothing works until you work it out. It's not something you just come in and start enjoying. Even when you come in and start enjoying, things may change, but you still need to work it out.
First of all,
it can be worked out, like you said. You work it out.
Yes.
In it.
Yes, you have to work it out. You have to work it out. The Bible told us. The Bible told us that two of them, when they came together, do you understand? They were not ashamed. They were naked, but they were not ashamed. Now, when you talk about that nakedness, it's just about exposing their weaknesses, and they were not ashamed. They covered themselves. Some people cannot bear the weakness of the other, and that will make them to expose themselves. But if they are able to cover their nakedness, they will not be ashamed to each other.
But the thing is that parents have, just like how when we talk about career and we spoke about how parents have this idea in their head of what they think you should do and what they want you to do. And it's the same, it's very similar when it comes to marriage, because some parents in their head, they're like, maybe when they see, or maybe when you bring like maybe a potential husband, or maybe like your fiance or something.
Yeah.
They'll first of all, maybe the person, they'll first of all assess the person, and then they'll say, oh, like maybe when the person goes, I sit there. It's not Guinea. Is it this person, and they'll be like, oh, maybe he doesn't suit.
Yes.
He doesn't fit their standard. He doesn't suit, and then they have somebody else.
Yes, because if there's somebody that have the standard
that ticks all their
in-laws they want.
They have, yes, exactly. Maybe they feel like they're on some kind of level, or they're on some kind of pedestal, and they're like, no, this one, no, or maybe no, he's from this place, so no, in our family we don't marry from this place. We don't,
It's taboo.
And these things are issues actually, because parents they interfere so much that it's like they want to tell you, okay, this is the person you will marry, is this one.
Their opinions are right, sir. Honestly speaking, parents are most times right. You agree with me, right?
Sometimes right. They are not always right.
Give you that impression that you can actually give it a try, and I mean, as time goes on, you come to them to solicit for advice.
I'm coming to that, but let's hear what he has to say.
In family relationship, it's important that the gap of communication remains very close, so that the parent can be able to be on the interactive aspect of life from time to time. You don't leave your child to keep growing without you visiting his emotion, his interest, his choice, and start working on it. Not to wait till when the person brings someone to marry before it's better you drop the template on the table, so that when that child is growing, he will now say, this is what my parents talked about. If you have a question on the template, you can ask your father, your mother, why do you say this kind of thing? It's a discussion. Pray before the main incident, so that it will not be that you have a negative attachment on this particular person that I brought. before you bring that person, you must have already run with the understanding that your parent has given to you, coupled with your own choice of a person. Because whether you like it or not, it is better you stay unmarried than to stay in a crisis-filled marriage.
But see, like I always say, parents are not always right though, because there have been cases where parents have
choices. Most of their choices.
Their choices are even the problem. And then there are also some situations whereby some parents maybe did not like the person that their child wants to marry, and it ended up being a good marriage.
Exactly. Not that the
if you ask them, okay, what is it about this person that is
it ended up being a good marriage?
Yes.
You didn't see the tomorrow in that your today, but that your parent once heard of somebody slapping the husband, or a husband slapping a wife, or using their own immediate experience to teach you against that tomorrow you are talking about, which you have not seen. So it is better you use the yardstick of your parents' experience and judge your own tomorrow, because that tomorrow is not reversible. Oh. That tomorrow you are talking about.
The thing is that, and I think the thing is that the ideology of parents and the way things used to be for them then and the way things are now is not the same. And I think at some point they find it difficult to understand the way things are now. Now I want to believe that back then, maybe our parents, then they were used to seeing these parents will come. Oh, I have a daughter. Oh, this one will come. Oh, I have a son. Oh, and then they come together, and then the children, as obedient as they are, they don't have a problem.
Family friends.
And then they go ahead with the marriage, and it goes however it goes, whether it goes good, whether it goes bad, that's it. And then when they try to do the same, because you saying your parents, they are seeing something, or maybe it's from their own experience. Quite all right. Yes, some parents have had experiences that they don't want their children to experience. But at the same time, they fail to understand that their children are also human beings with thinking faculty. They know what they want. They have their likes, their dislikes. What you want might not be what your child is wanting or what your child is looking for. The priorities are different. The green flags and the red flags for your child. Don't forget, you and your child, you are not the same. You come from
I seriously want to appreciate your level of intelligence, but theory is different from practical. Do you understand? So it is important that every parent watch the child he has, and then try to show that child the future that is unknown, and prepare that child. And then if that child brings a girl or a young man that said, I am interested in you, if it is possible, the problem we have is that certain parents don't tutor their children when it gets to do about marriage.
Okay, how do you?
Our interest is just to feed them. Our interest is just to train them in school. But we don't have time to talk to them about marriage. And when one is succeeding, it is conclusive. We are succeeding in our marriage. But do you know the character that boy or that girl is going to bring in, if they will also succeed? So it is important to prepare their heart, which is the battleground against tomorrow. So all I'm trying to say is that we cannot be sure of tomorrow. And for that, we need to prepare our children, so that when we bring in whichever one that is the best match to the other, they will, both of them said, we have decided that this marriage will work. So because the appetite, the interest in ancient time is not the interest, it's not what is obtainable right now. Things are not the same way it is, and knowledge is not the same. And when you talk of bringing two people together, remember they have diversity of character and behavior.
Exactly.
And so it's not even expected that after marriage, a father or a mother will still come and have influence in a family that is newly built or a couple that is separate, as in marriage, So it is better you prepare them early enough before they get into it. And by that preparation, you'll be able to say, these people, they are succeeding in their marriage. So their son, their child, their daughter will also succeed.
What's the guarantee that since this person is from a good family, the marriage is going to have with my daughter?
Okay.
Are you telling me if I've not had any bad negative reports from a family, the couple, they don't fight, I don't have guarantee?
That's presumptuous. That's presumptuous.
Even that presumptuous can be a yardstick, of course,
But
even
it is not an accurate yardstick, and it is actually quite not right.
But you said before, what if they succeeded in tomorrow? So it's assumption.
We said it.
Like you said, this person is from a good family. I know the family.
Yes.
And if he marries my daughter,
yes,
their family will definitely be, a good one. Like
a good one.
The question is, what is the guarantee? Because apart from parental upbringing,
are you telling me when they say that this particular family, okay, they are all thieves, they are known for stealing. This one, they are known for mental disorder. They are not yardstick. You just plunge into it.
So that you now,
they are all part of argument.
These
are part of reasons parents can tell you, don't go there, don't go this way.
Those are obvious reasons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Are reasons that can actually be taken up as something serious. And I pity the child that does not listen to that.
That is what I'm
trying to say now is those parents that actually don't have a genuine reason for telling you who to marry and what kind of person to marry. That is the problem we're having.
No, you can't say that a parent doesn't have a genuine reason.
No, because some don't.
What is not genuine to you may be genuine to another. Do you understand? You cannot have a universal interest. No. You cannot have a universal interest. What is not important to you may be something very urgent for the other. Do you understand? So all we are trying to say is that if a parent has a reason not to allow a child, his or her child, to go this way, you must present that.
So that means the parent does not respect their children's choices and their autonomy.
If respecting a child's choice is allowing that child to plunge into the dungeon, and the parent will now come back to use his old spinal cord to drive out the child from that dungeon. If that is what you call respect, so be it.
No. It's not about that, honestly. It's not about that. I know that parents have this whole right to be in our marriage, give us the advice and all. But the truth is this: they have this whole mindset of the kind of person they want you to get married to. I think we're even going far to say, mental health, marriage. There are parents that the young lady will bring a guy that is not well to do.
Yeah, it's not from a rich home. And the next thing you say, it's a problem, because it's not.
It happens.
Some people, it's because the person is short.
Yes.
Well, let's just not undermine the fact that for marriage to succeed, it must be built on the bedrock of faith in God. Good. Do you understand? You don't just enter into it anyhow. That's what the Bible says. Now, I want to say that a parent that understands the child should start as early as possible to pray for the success of that child's marriage, even when the child is not yet ready for marriage. And when the child comes, a parent should be given ample time to pray and get his own conviction to support that child. Okay? If there are reasons to say no, he should table that reason to the child. And that child should be able to say to the parent, these are my convincing facts why I should marry this person. And if that be, the parent should agree, knowing too well that even the marriage that is anchored on thus says the Lord is not void of challenge.
And that's this right here is what I was waiting. That's just what I wanted to hear.
Thank you.
He has actually said it. No, yes, now because we wanted to make it clear because it was.
It's also important that as a young person, this love of a thing does not enter into our
First of all,
medulla.
before we continue this conversation,
Yes.
please make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms and join in on this conversation. On the social media platform showing right now on your screen. Go to the comment section, tell us what you think, and we want to hear your thoughts. So let's continue.
Let me help you to remind you.
Thank you.
When you talk about love, the love you exhibit during boy-girlfriend relationship, where if you don't see that person, you begin to feel as if you are dying. Girlfriend relationship, where if you don't see that person, you begin to feel as if you are dying. Your blood is draining away.
Yes.
You are no more yourself.
Yes.
You are running crazy. Please, I want to set my eye on you. That is a different thing altogether when it gets to marriage. The love you have in a marriage tells you, I have come for a real business. That something can come up tomorrow to attack that mentality of if I don't see you now. If I don't see you now, something may be more important than seeing that person right now. And that thing that is more important is what will guarantee the stability of that marriage. If you leave that thing and come and see you now, the future will be bleak.
You're saying that love is not enough.
I am saying
Love
that
is not
there is
enough.
something more serious about the love of marriage than the love of what? Boy-girl relationship. That of boy-girl relationship is all about the emotion and the feeling. But in marriage, it's a more serious business. So when a parent is saying to you, this, sit down, think well, plan well, pray well, and then be patient enough to go through those signs that will give you conviction before you sign in. Yes.
But why is it that? See, I keep saying this, and I've been saying it even during the last episode, that the problem is not the problem. The problem is the way the problem is presented. That's just the issue. Like African parents, I don't know if it's that they don't have the patience. In fact, I don't know, but it's like fights. It's always like fights. It's always like, and I think it creates this misunderstanding because now the child is in a position whereby they feel defensive. The parent is talking from a place of love, but they're not communicating it in a way that the child is going to understand it. And then it will not look like it's a fight or it's a war. Maybe
it's more like my opinion
is not being heard,
like
or
see how they feel. I'm going to speak let me use it personal. It's more like you think I'm not grown enough to make some decisions. You think my opinion is not valid. You think I cannot speak for myself.
And these are people in their 20s.
Do you actually believe that experience is a good teacher?
Good, yes.
Experience is a good teacher, yes.
And you know that a young man or a young girl is never married before. Never married.
Of course.
And the parent has gotten married.
Yes.
True.
And so, what makes you to bolt away from the classroom when your teacher is teaching you?
See, when a teacher is constantly shouting at you, you see that you will not hear it.
Are you interested in the shouting, or are you interested? Are you interested in the knowledge?
Hold on, see, it's not even an emotion thing. See, mode of communication.
Do you know that if a parent has to talk to you with the weight of experience they have gotten, the shouting is even a mini assignment.
The thing is that
the parents should even lie you on the ground, give you a very fantastic, give you a fantastic flog until you say, I am ready to hear. Then now say,
No,
get up and sit down to hear.
the thing is that
Because your success in the marriage is also their success.
yes, I understand. I understand
anything.
you. I understand. But the thing is that mode of communication is very, very, very important. The way people receive information is highly dependent on the way the information is being given. And don't forget, you're not talking to a child. If it's a child, you can bully that child into doing something. You can flog that child into doing something.
You know,
but hold on, sir, please. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
But this is an adult, right? This person is probably in their 20s, maybe even late 20s, even early 30s. This is somebody that is old enough to be somebody's father.
When he gets to marriage, nobody is a graduate.
So
When he gets to marriage does not respect age.
Parents tend to forget that their children are no longer children. That you can talk to in a certain way. Your children are now grown people.
Marriage does not respect age.
They can go to jail.
Do you understand? Marriage does not respect age.
True. Yes.
Happy marriage has nothing to do with age.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with certificate. It has nothing to do with wealth. You can have the whole money on earth, yet you have a reckless, useless marriage. You understand? Yeah. It's important and paramount that you have peace in your marriage. And this is what a parent is agitating. Any parent that leaves peace and is talking of money and wealth is a misplaced priority.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Exactly, I agree with that.
So it is important that a child.
If I get married, I want to stay married. What's your own takeaway from that chat coming from our chat room on the chat box this evening? Well, that is where we are drawing the curtain on today's signature evening. Let's do this again tomorrow at the same time on Signature TV. My name is Ngozika Mba, wishing you a pleasurable night rest. But you wait around for our program at 11 p.m. Don't go anywhere.